LaMelo Ball is the driving force for the Charlotte Hornets. He plays with freedom and a willingness to improvise that captivates me as a fan of his, and I know I'm not alone. This has led to one of the best young players in the game today, but he is not perfect, just like any player. And in this video, we will talk about this young star's strengths and weaknesses, and what he needs to do to reach that next level. As I said before, he just plays with so much freedom. As a point guard, one way this shows up is with his play as a pick and roll navigator, and he does a good amount of his work here. PNR action really helps the young all-star get wherever he wants to on the floor, as he just swims through defenders after these screens, and this is where we see that willingness to improvise in some of the funky yet effective plays he makes. As a rim finisher out of this PNR action, Ball elects for a lot of floaters, which is a shot he is pretty good at. Having the shot in his arsenal forces bigs to at least have to think about coming out a little further. He showcases great touch and is very comfortable here, but things get much tougher for the point guard when he gets in closer to the basket. Over his last couple of seasons, Ball has been one of the worst rim finishers across the league when you look at efficiency. Him knowing this really isn't his strong suit is why I think you see a steady diet of these floaters, sometimes very long ones. Again, he's very good at this shot and is comfortable with it, but strong rim pressure is integral to any player's game, and that hasn't been consistent for him. When there's contact in close, Ball struggles to keep up with his physicality a lot of the time, which causes him to throw up some wild ones. The point guard does have some games where he shows his potential to drive the ball super well. In a game like this one versus the New York Knicks, he demonstrated his ability to finish at the cup using his IQ and patience as a basketball player. In the PNR, he kept his dribble alive and waited for his space to finish constantly. He is a great overall playmaker with high awareness of where his teammates are. The Knicks defense of course knew this, and I believe this is what allowed him so many opportunities to finish close at the rim as he manipulated the defense. This is just one example of course, but it shows how Ball can create much better looks for himself inside. I think also getting stronger and being able to absorb and also distribute more contact will help as well. 3-point shooting has taken over slightly as the main way Ball looks to score. He's shooting 37.4% on 7.6 attempts for his career, which I think is pretty good, especially on his volume, and with the shots that he takes. He's truly one of the most entertaining shooters in the league, with the sauce he plays with and how smoothly he shoots the ball. In his best years from deep, he shot 40+% on catch and shoot threes. So I'm hoping he can get back here because he was down on these shots last season. And that trend has continued through 4 games this season. I love these types of shots for him. It allows him to get off the ball and get some easier looks, which is so important for him to have in his shot diet, considering how ball dominant he is forced to be. This is not where the issues have come in for Ball as a long-range shooter. Falling in love with the lazy, low-effort, deep bombs has been the issue, which brings us to his next big flaw, which is his 3-point shot selection. So much of the star's game has to do with wowing the crowd and just being a highlight maker overall. This includes some very deep-range shots. These shots are hype, and you love them when they go in. I know Eric Collins thinks so. But they are a double-edged sword because so many of these attempts cut any potential flow of the Hornets offense. Low effort and lazy is really the best way I can describe these shots. Many times Ball takes these deep threes very early in the shot clock before even attempting to get something going and trying to find a better shot. You also see instances where Charlotte can make a late game comeback for a victory, but Ball really hurts the chances of this with this jarring type of shot attempt. I'm not saying these near logo threes need to never happen. He absolutely has the skill to make this, and he has proven it. And being able to stretch the defense out this far is so valuable. He just needs to shoot these shots a lot more sparingly. Right now they are far too frequent. And again, it can really hurt the team's overall offense and kill potential momentum. And we know how good he is at carving through a defense and finding a better shot. Which brings us to LaMelo's greatest strength. We know Ball knows how to get flashy and showcase his showmanship as a scorer, but this may show up even more with his passing. There are a few things that make this point guard so good as a passer. Number one is his reactiveness. He reacts so quickly to open windows with great vision. This is connected to what I mentioned earlier, how he moves with a sense of randomness, carelessness in a good way, and freedom. He takes the game as it comes to him without telegraphing these finds, and this can be tough to keep up with or predict for defenses, especially when he's pushing the pace like he loves to do. It's one thing to be able to see when your teammates are open and see it quickly, but you still have to have the talent to get it to them, and many players are limited in the passes that they can make, but not this guy, as he just has elite passing talent. No matter where he or his teammates are, he can find a way to get it to them because he possesses so much versatility. And his feel for the game and instincts are just so good. Ambidexterity, left hand or right hand, he can make it happen, and effortlessly too. Lob throwing, he's great at this too, in the half court or in transition. Some of the most creative passes I've ever seen have come from Charlotte's finest. This pass to Kelly Oubre for a corner three is just silly. Who else do you see doing stuff like this? This underhand full court pass to Miles Bridges is insane too. Who even thinks to attempt this type of dime? Laser eye vision, spontaneity, and skill to make any dish you can think of has led to one of the best and most entertaining passers in the NBA. I will keep on saying it. I believe this young point guard's willingness to improvise and free approach to the game is the main reason he is such a dangerous offensive player. We have seen some amazing performances from him in this young season, and he will only get better from here. But who is LaMelo Ball as a defensive player? The one word I would use to describe Ball's defensive approach is anticipation. He's always looking to blow plays up and turn teams over by camping passing lanes, as well as waiting for his opportunity to reach on ball, and he is successful a lot of the time. He's averaging 1.5 steals for his career, and having someone on the court who's always looking to disrupt is great. This is somewhat similar to his offensive game, where he flies around and plays off instinct. Similar to his long-range bombs, this is great when it works. When it doesn't, this can lead to some easily exploitable defensive breakdowns. His reactiveness to the ball can cause him to be in some bad positions. I hear a lot of people call Ball out for his lack of defensive effort and point to this as his biggest issue on this side of the court, but I would call this more of a lack of discipline. He puts in effort just in the wrong way. He needs to pick his spots to go for these steals much better. Know when to stay solid and when to gamble, instead of the gambling just being a default setting. At times this can also cause him to pick up some silly fouls, which he can't afford to pick up as his team's best and most important player. I would love to see this improvement and for it to stick for a more complete two-way game for Charlotte's young star. LaMelo Ball has made his presence felt in a league full of talent. His frequent absences in the 2023 and 2024 seasons mitigated this impact, but when he's out there, we all know how good he is. Again, just like any player, he has some things to clean up to be that good, but I'm so excited for his future and we'll be watching closely. Charlotte is looking to finally turn things around, and it starts with Ball. But what do you think? How good is LaMelo Ball? Do you expect him to take a huge jump this year? Will the Charlotte Hornets make the playoffs? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you all for watching. This has been Rxkz with Hoops Times 2. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. I'll see you all next time. Peace out.